Welcome to Bad Hops Baseball. Today we're going to examine the first ever major league start of Cubs left-hander Shotu Imanaga. Imanaga was a successful pitcher in the Japanese professional leagues for many years before he came to the major leagues this last offseason and signed with the Chicago Cubs. The left-hander throws 7 different pitches, but many of them look quite similar. He throws a four-seam fastball, a cut fastball, a split fastball, a changeup, and then 3 breaking pitches, a slider, a sweeper, and a traditional curveball. As we now go through his first major league start, pitch by pitch, let's see if we can identify those 7 pitches and the variations of each. Bad Hops Baseball. Smash that like button. He starts off Charlie Blackmon with a four-seam fastball, middle in, but look where the catcher sets up. The target was actually up and away. 0-1 now. Gomes calls for another four-seam fastball, but he's set up on the inside part of the plate high. The pitch drifts outside for a ball. On this 1-1 pitch, Gomes again calls for a high fastball, and this time the pitcher hits the target and records the out. 1 down now in the first, pitching to Brendan Rodgers. Gomes calls for the high fastball. Shotu delivers. Now this is the first example we see of Shotu throwing something down in the zone and something that is off speed. It looks like a changeup to me. It doesn't move very much, but it's at about 84 miles per hour. This is a really interesting pitch to me because Gomes doesn't really give a target behind the plate. Seems like he just calls the four-seam fastball and lets Shotu let it rip. This particular pitch is one that wasn't quite as useful in Japan because the swing planes of the hitters are very, very different there. In the major leagues, you see a lot of guys that have an uppercut swing plane, and this high fastball is going to make hay. He's got the batter down 0-2 and confused, so he tries to throw another strike at the top of the strike zone with the four-seam fastball. He just overcooks it a little bit and doesn't locate well. Shotu is doing a masterful job of changing the hitter's eye level, going up and down, in and out. He now pulls the chain on an 84-mile-an-hour slider. The hitter has no chance here. He swings right over the top of it. It's a ball in the dirt, and he records his first Major League Baseball strikeout. Back to the four-seam fastball, just playing catch with Yan Gomes. Slider away at 84 miles an hour. This one looks a lot like the same pitch, like he was frustrated that he didn't locate the slider the first time, so he threw it again and he failed to locate it again. And he comes back with a four-seam fastball, up and in, and induces weak contact. And just like that, he's through his first major league inning, surrendering no hits and no runs. I specifically left this clip long so we could say hello to an old friend, Kris Bryant. Shotu starts him off with a high four-seam fastball and induces a swing and miss. Then what looks like a splitter down and away, before wasting one in the dirt. And here we have the best pitch of this sequence, a four-seam fastball right off the inside part of the plate that somehow Kris Bryant takes, followed by what looks to me like a changeup, which Bryant is able to hit hard. Pitching now with a runner on first base for the first time in the major leagues, Shotu throws a low 90s, 92-mile-an-hour four-seam fastball right down Broad Street. Either his movement was able to fool this hitter or the hitter was in a straight take. Here another 92-mile-an-hour four-seam fastball, this time though just on the edge of the plate and elevated. I believe here we get our first look at the sweeper, which the hitter is able to foul off. Back to the 93-mile-an-hour four-seam fastball, but this time up and in. The slider buried in the dirt. 94 at the knees. 93 away at the letters, and this is turning into quite the battle. 94 middle in. 92-mile-an-hour four-seamer elevated. 93 miles an hour up and in, high and tight. 93 miles an hour and right down the middle. 92 middle away. And finally, he pulls the string with an 83-mile-an-hour Changeup that is just off the inside part of the plate. He gets a swinging strike 3. Shotu starts off Diaz with 93 right down the chute, followed by a 4-seamer, 93 up and away, and an 84-mile-an-hour slider in the dirt to strike out his second batter of the inning. And finally, 93 miles an hour, elevated but in the strike zone to induce a can of corn. A lot of pitches to get through that inning, but scoreless through 2, giving up 1 hit. Opening up the third inning now with an elevated fastball outside of the zone, a couple of ticks slower than what we've seen, followed by a second one to open 2-0. A third fastball in a row, this one inside. A get-me-over heater at 91, and then 93 in the same spot to induce a weak pop-up. '93 on the inside part of the plate to the number 9 hitter. 83 on the sweeper, no swing. 93 inside and off the plate. 93 up and in to induce a pop-up. Slider down at 84. And the best pitch of the sequence, 94-mile-an-hour 4-seam fastball right on the edge of the plate, inside and down. I do believe this is our first look at the 75-mile-an-hour curveball. So just imagine you've seen him go through the order one time and you've seen mostly heaters, 93, 94, right in that range, a couple of sweepers, a couple of sliders, but it's been a fastball parade, and then he drops this 75-mile-an-hour Uncle Charlie on you. Followed by the fastball away, slider away, and then fastball middle away but in the strike zone. Probably the most hittable pitch of the entire start, and Blackman gives it a ride. Thankfully, the wind at Wrigley is blowing in, and when the wind at Wrigley is blowing in, you can get away with such things. Shotu starts the 4th inning with Uncle Charlie at 74, right on the edge of the plate. 92-mile-an-hour 4-seamer, elevated. 92 at the belt, but in. Changeup away at 83. And finally, a 92-mile-an-hour 4-seam fastball right at the inside edge of the plate that was popped up. Changeup for a strike, followed by the heater right down Broad Street, and another fastball right down the middle in the most disrespectful sequence we've seen. 92 and elevated to Chris Sparkles. 93 miles an hour up and in, but in the strike zone. Just about the same spot at 93. Changeup away, but Bryant fights it off. An overcooked spiked breaking ball. And finally, Shotu climbs the ladder, 93 miles an hour up and in. Bryant swings through it. High heat at the top of the zone to start the 5th. Next, the slider down and away, and the sweeper makes short work of McMahon. Changeup at 84 on the outside corner. A slider at 83, down and out of the strike zone, induces a swing. 92 up and in, induces a drive to the warning track. A 4-seam fastball at 92 miles an hour, slightly elevated. Changeup at 83 on the edge of the plate. Changeup about 2 feet outside. And what I think may be a split finger right on the edge of the plate for strike 3. And you can see here Shotu is feeling it. 4-seam fastball down at the bottom of the zone. You can see here he's lost a little bit of velocity. He's a couple ticks down at 90. Breaking ball in the dirt. 4-seamer middle away at 91. And finally, an elevated fastball at 92 that gets jerked to the warning track. Changeup at 82. Elevated heater. Fastball down in the zone that gets popped up. Sweeper away and outside that fools Blackman. Changeup low out of the strike zone, but Blackman is able to turn it around. 91-mile heat toward the top of the zone. Changeup away. Fastball at 91, in and on the edge of the plate. Changeup low and way outside. Changeup at the knees, and Rogers turns it around just like Blackman did. 92 at the knees. 82-mile-an-hour changeup. And one more 93-mile-an-hour four-seam fastball right down the pike that the batter swings through. And there you have Shotu's first major league start. 6 innings pitched, 0 runs surrendered. That is a quality start by Major League Baseball rules. The national media spin on it has been that it was a dominant start. I don't believe that was a dominant start. He did live up to his reputation as an extreme fly ball pitcher. He gave up several drives to the warning track. The wind at Wrigley Field definitely assisted on some of those drives. He was effectively wild throughout, but he did throw strikes, particularly that four-seam fastball that he threw for strike over and over again. No doubt a great start to his Cubs career here at Wrigley Field. Bad Hops Baseball. Smash that like button.